Look, you guys, I went to Target today to buy this shirt for this specific video, okay? That's dedication. Welcome, everyone, to my channel. If you've been here before or if you've seen me, you probably know I do a lot of cooking videos, I do vacation videos. Now I'm deciding to branch out. I want to do movies and TV reviews, watch-alongs, reaction videos, all that kind of stuff. Specifically because cooking videos and vacation videos cost money, a decent amount of money, and this technically doesn't. This just takes up my time. So today, we're reviewing Thor Love and Thunder. No, I'm not getting rid of the Trulies. The Trulies are staying forever. This video contains spoilers. Please go and see the movie. Don't watch this without seeing the movie. So, Thor Love and Thunder, it is the fourth Thor movie, and actually the first movie in the Marvel Cinematic Universe that has branched out beyond the trilogy aspect. Everything's always in threes or just one if you're talking about the internals. So this movie's getting a lot of heat lately. A lot of people are hating it. So I don't want to start ragging on this movie first shot. So I'm going to go over the things that I actually liked about this movie because there are a lot of good things about it, even though it's not without its problems. Let's start out with the good things. Number one. Obviously, it's funny. If you saw Thor Ragnarok, they took a turn with Thor from the serious, macho, brooding Thor and made him a funny guy. Because Chris Hemsworth has really, really good comedic timing. Thankfully, Taika Waititi noticed that. I'm assuming that's what happened. And gave him the reins to be funny, pretty much. Do I believe that there were too many jokes? No. I think the amount of jokes were fine. Every time there was a joke, I chuckled. One of the things that people have a problem with are the goats. I'm not going to try and say their name. It's like Tooth Gnasher and Tooth Grind or something like that. The goats scream. It's hilarious. Here's a clip.
Yes, they are. They also scream quite a lot.
Every time they come on the screen, they're hilarious. That's just what it is. They're funny. That's one of the cooler funny parts, I guess. One of my favorite scenes was actually in the beginning after the introduction of Gore. You go to another planet where Thor and the Guardians of the Galaxy are hanging out, and these Muppet looking, they look like Muppets. They start attacking this planet of blue people. I don't know what they're called. I don't know their name, but they're being attacked by these Muppets who look like the animal from the Muppets. And Thor jumps in and he handles it. Of course he does. And it's one of the coolest scenes because when Thor does stuff and there's lightning, it's cool. Even though it was really silly, if you watch it, it's a funny scene. It's silly. He does the Jean-Claude Van Damme leg kick. It's silly, but it's great. Which goes into the next thing that I liked a lot about this movie. Just like pretty much every Marvel movie is the action scenes. The action scenes are great. Every time there is an action scene, it's awesome. You can't complain about it. Every time he throws that axe or a hammer's being thrown, it's great. That's one of the coolest things. Which takes me to the third thing, Jane as the mighty Thor wielding Mjolnir. It's cool. Because it broke in the last movie, if you saw it, there was Hela broke Mjolnir, shattered it, and now it's still shattered. But now when she throws it, it shoots little pieces of itself out, and then it comes back in the coolest sound. I liked that. I thought that was really cool. I thought it was very creative the way they did that. And it gave the mighty Thor, Jane, it gave her a difference from Thor himself. So she wasn't just wielding the hammer. She wasn't just summoning thunder and lightning. She had her own thing, and that was kind of cool to see them give her own identity and her own, kind of a superpower move. Another thing that I really liked about it was Gore. Obviously, Gore the God Butcher. He looked super cool. His presence was awesome. Obviously, it's Christian Bale, so you're going to have to know that at least the actor is awesome. It's Christian Bale. And I know a lot of people were complaining about the fact that he had a nose and he wasn't doing the Voldemort thing. I thought he looked great. I thought if you made him CGI and gave him the tentacle things on his head and made him look more comic book accurate, I mean, it still would have been sick, don't get me wrong. But this is not bad. This isn't a bad exchange. I really liked Christian Bale's acting as Gore. I don't really know how Gore is because I'm a normie, so I watch the stuff and then I go back and read and do a lot of research on the story after I've seen the movie. So I don't really know his personality in the comics, but his personality in the movie was surprisingly like the Joker, specifically Heath Ledger's Joker from The Dark Knight, which had Christian Bale in it. Like he he had that like a jokery aspect to him when, in certain scenes when he was talking to the kids and he was trying to scare them with that weird snake thing. That was yeah. Another thing that was really cool was the what is it, the shadow realm or shadow dimension, whatever you want to call it. It's the thing that Gore moves through, I guess. They're on this little tiny moon and it's completely gray. It like sucks all the life and color out of the world, and he moves through shadows. There's one specific scene that was really cool. Thor, Jane, aka the mighty Thor, they all go and try and save this town. It's the first time you see, like, what are they called? Like the Black Berserkers or something. You see those things, and Gore is in the background, and Thor can see him. He sees him from afar, and then all of a sudden, in like a split second, it's like a jump scare. He's like right in front of you. That was a cool scene. It showed that, Gore is a scary dude. It was pretty cool. And I guess he moves in and out through the shadows. So I thought that was cool. That was cool writing to me. But even though there were a bunch of cool things, and you could cut this video off right now and go to the movies, and if you don't really care that much about movies, you'll have a good time. If you don't care that much about Marvel movies, you'll have a good time. But this was the first Marvel movie, or movie in general, that during the movie I was having a good time. I was laughing, I was entertained the whole time. But after the movie got over, my brain started overthinking and freaking out about stuff. I got more and more angry to the point where I had to buy this microphone and decide to start doing videos because I needed to talk about this movie and the problems I had with it personally that were different than what I've read from everyone else. Not everyone else. There's a lot of people that understand what I'm talking about, but like the normal Facebook comments and the Rotten Tomato comments and the small crap. So here are the bad things about this movie, the things that I think kind of tear it down to where it's not, I don't want to say it's not redeemable, but it's just not good. Like I said, for the good things, the jokes were funny. There was a problem with the joke timing. There was a big problem with the joke timing. Specifically, there's a scene where Thor is with the Guardians of the Galaxy. They're getting a lot of distress signals because Gore's going around killing a bunch of gods. They see this one god, the one from the panel, that one, and they see he's dead. And then Thor sees his friend, Lady Sif, the female Warriors 3. She's from all the other movies, and she's hurt, right? So, and you could tell Thor's like, yo, this is my friend. I gotta go save her. There's something wrong. I gotta get out of here. All right, and now tension has been built. There's a threat. His name is Gore. We need to go check this out. You see the dead god. Apparently he was a really good dude. You could see the sadness and bewilderment on Thor's face. And then he goes down to Lady Sif. Oh my God, are you okay, Lady Sif? And then all of a sudden, jokes. They just joke. They just killed every ounce of tension that was in that scene. They ruined it. And I think at that point was when I was like, I don't know if I'm going to like the direction this film's going. From that scene, it felt like a SNL skit of what the movie should have done. Because your friend is hurt. Her arm is chopped off. She was trying to save or help this god that was killed by Gore. Gore cuts her arm off, and you just make a joke about it, and then it's like it's nothing. Now Gore doesn't seem like a villain. You don't even think about Gore. It's just about the jokes at that point. That was a big one where I started paying attention in the movie to the weird timing of jokes. Like, jokes are fine, but when there needs to be a point in the movie where you're serious, especially if you're talking about a villain like Gore, which, like I said, I didn't know anything about. But with the anticipation of this movie coming, I did research and I read things and I watched videos from people on YouTube explaining who this person was. And considering the fact that his backstory is so deep and mature, you would think that you would want this villain, and you got Christian Bale, by the way. You would think you want this villain to be something villainous, I guess. But I'm going to rewatch this movie, don't get me wrong, but it was one of the worst things that they could have done artistically, stylistically. On top of that, let's go into the second thing, the underutilization of Gore the God Butcher. With Gore being who he was and his motivations for doing what he was doing and then getting the necro sword, the all-black necro sword that could kill gods, because He feels they deserve to die. You would think there'd be more of him in there, or at least him butchering gods. His name is Gore the God Butcher. He's there killing gods. He kills one god in the beginning, which sets him on his path of killing gods, and then everything is just kind of like a quick montage. Not even a montage. It's just on the screen when they're looking at the gods that are being killed, and you see, oh, he's been killing gods, and then that's all you see. After that, he becomes a kidnapper. He kidnaps all the kids for the sole purpose of drawing Thor out to get Stormbreaker, which can open up the Bifrost so that he can go meet eternity. Because once you are the person that can find eternity and meet this eternity, then you get one wish. And he was going to wish all the gods were gone. All right. Let's go with that. But you didn't kill any gods on the way. You could have added it. You could have added it in something, one or two. I just felt like if you got Christian Bale, who is a great actor, and you've got the hype of this monster character who in the comics is a beast, and you don't do anything with him, I thought that was a huge mistake and a misstep, or just a meh. And the sad thing is, there were cutscenes. There was one thing that I knew before this movie came out. I knew what it was. When you saw Christian Bale's character, before he becomes Gore, he has like worship symbols tattooed on his face. There's lines down his face. And then later on, it's nothing but scars in those spots. I knew that's what it was going to be, is he cut them off because he doesn't want to worship his God anymore, right? Apparently, they filmed that scene, and then they cut that scene out. I feel like that's a good scene. That would be a character development that shows how dedicated he is to wanting to kill gods, I guess. Apparently a bunch of scenes of him killing gods and going to certain places, and they just cut it out. Now, this was one of the more nitpicky things that I didn't see a lot of people complaining about, but it was one thing that I cringed at really hard, and I didn't like it at all. I've thought about it for a while, and I hated this scene. And it's probably the most hated thing about this movie to me. It's the thing I hate the most. And it's the end scene where he gives the kids the power of Thor and all the kids go and fight these monsters. Hated it. I hated that scene so much. It reminded me of some stupid movie from back in like the late 2000s to early 2010s, like The Pacifier with Vin Diesel, something like that. I just don't think kids should act like that kind of way, like action act. And the kids do the kid thing where they go and it's kids beating up these monsters that were once a threat earlier. And I know they're gods now, but it just seemed like a Disney short movie on the Disney Channel. And then one of the kids has a stuffed bunny rabbit and they're using it to blast away these monsters. It was real corny, is what I'm trying to say. And I don't like it. I think they wanted this to be a kids movie, which is fine, right? Like Chris Hemsworth's kids, I think Taika Waititi's kids, Christian Bale's kids, they were all in it. So they wanted this to be a kids movie, and that's fine. You can do that. Marvel can do that. It's cool. Maybe pick a different villain is all I'm trying to say. Pick a simpler villain. Could have used Gore for something else. Whatever. That was like the most cringy scene. I see a lot of people, they were happy about it. They thought it was cute or funny or whatever. I thought it was trash. And then another thing, this is a nitpick, but it was kind of weird to me. At the very end, Gore does find eternity. He does get a wish. He wishes that his daughter, who died in the beginning of the movie, comes back. I just thought that was a weird wish. You're going to die. So the sword he's wielding to kill these gods is killing him. Kind of like the cancer in Jane. Like, there's that parallel where every time she wields Mjolnir and becomes the mighty Thor, it's taking away her ability to cure the cancer, so the chemo stops working. Gore, every time he uses that sword, it corrupts him and it's killing him. So he wishes for his daughter to be alive again, but he's dying. So now you can't even be with your daughter, so now it doesn't make any sense at all. What if Thor was trash? What if Thor decided, I hate you, you little kid, and killed her? You don't know. Gore doesn't know. Apparently, Thor is a god and gods are trash, so why wouldn't you think it's a nitpick? I understand. That's not what they would do. But still, you could have wished for other things. Why not wish all the gods were the way gods should be? That's one wish. I mean, you could have even wished to be with your daughter. Whether that means you're dying anyway, you could be hopefully wish to be sent to the afterlife that your daughter's in. You could have even wished to trade places with the gods so that you could be the god that you wanted to see. Be the change that you want to see. What I'm saying is you could have wished for a whole lot of different things. Your wish seemed kind of dumb. Whatever. I digress. Chris Hemsworth wanted his daughter to be in the movie, and I understand. Fine. I get it. Cool. Now at the end of the movie, Thor has a little daughter girl. For some reason, he decided to take this little daughter girl, and now she's wielding Stormbreaker. All that shit would have been fine. The biggest problem to me, the comedic timing was real whack, and they should have just used gore more. I was reading that apparently the studio interfered a lot, which seems to happen with all these movies. I'm looking at you, Justice League. Apparently Marvel Studios stepped in and said, one, the movie had to be under 2 hours, which is stupid. Who doesn't love a long-ass superhero movie? But apparently the studio stepped in and said, no, it has to be under 2 hours. Because reasons? I think the studio was also probably the one that said you can't make gore scary. Apparently Taika Waititi has 4.5 hours worth of movie that he cut down to less than 2 hours. And even though in his he had an interview saying like, no, it was deleted because it was for the movie. It was better for the movie. I don't believe him. I think he's lying. In conclusion, was Thor: Love and Thunder a bad movie? Arguably, if you're thinking about movie-wise, but was it entertaining? Was it a good time? Of course it was entertaining. Marvel movies are all entertaining, okay? It's like having the best of the best and then trying to figure out who's the worst of the best. You're still going to like it. It's one of the same things. It's still a movie that's rewatchable. Honestly, a lot of people keep saying this, and I'm going to go against what they're saying. They're saying they're not going to go to the theaters, not going to give Disney or Marvel their money. They're going to wait for it to be on a streaming service so they can watch it. Or rip it off the internet for free. Dog, go to the movie theater and watch the movie. Like, I'm a huge fan of movie theaters. I love movie theaters. I love going to see movies. It's an event. It's great. You get popcorn. It's on a giant screen. The seats rumble. It's great. I love it. You know what? Go to a matinee. That's the worst you could do. Go see it when it's cheaper and it's during the day. But support your theaters, all right? COVID's over. What rating could I do? 1 to 10 Trulies. I'd give it a 6.5. Well, let me know if you like this style of video. I'm changing things up. Let me know other movies that I should watch or I should review. But hopefully you guys like this, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Please like the video, share the video. Do people even share videos? I don't know. Like it, comment, subscribe if you haven't. Thank you guys so much. I appreciate you watching. I'll see you in the next video. Goodbye.